Barcelona free kick. That's going to be an interesting battle, though, isn't it? The wily, experienced Enrique Gallego opening. ...14 minutes.
It's a good defending. Just keeping the line in defense. Always very difficult. Try not to mark your man when you see it's a little bit forward, a bit more forward than you, and they kept the line fantastic. So it was offside. A good piece of skill of Wague also getting out of that situation. We can see here the lines. This is the holding midfielder and Aleñá, Ricky Puig. They put in as a line of 3-4-2 or 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Which is really is with the ball. Without the ball, these two carrileros, they just stuck into the line of the defenders, and they defend with 5, and then it will be a 5-3-2.
Murillo to Umtiti. Umtiti, long crossfield ball collected by Wague. Gets away from the first two challenges. This is Aleñá. Dembélé. Malcolm. Dummies the cross. Back to Puig. Through the middle to Dembélé. Oh, and Dembélé puts it wide. Santa Maria might have got a touch to it. I thought Dembélé's first touch was a little heavy, but the defence split wide open there. Neat ball in from Ricky Puig. Dembélé just returning to an onside position, and that touch just gives Santa Maria a chance. It's a good save from Roberto Santa Maria, one of the top performers for Huesca this season. Corner swung in, and Santa Maria again called into action. The header from Murillo, and Santa Maria just palming it over the bar. Another corner for Barcelona. Powerful header from Jason Murillo. May have been going towards the crossbar. Santa Maria, just in case, getting his glove there. Again, it's swung in, and this time headed over the bar by Samuel Umtiti.
And again, two corner kicks that they're able to finish with the headers. Not usual in Barcelona. They're not really finishing many of the corner kicks they've taken. But a good first header for Murillo and now Umtiti, and this is the chance of Dembélé. Although the first control is a bit long, it is true that he had time to lift up his head and put the ball at the position of where he wanted. He did, but it was a fantastic save from Santa Maria.
There's the attempt, a rather wild one from Gallego. Applause from the home fans. Understood that anytime you get a sight of goal in the circumstances Huesca find themselves in, a shot is a good option on that occasion. Well wide of the right-hand post of Ter Stegen's goal. Right hand as we look at it. Ter Stegen waiting to see the best option, drives it low and firm. Vidal. It's Puig. Dynamic player, Puig. Finds Malcolm. Facing Miramon, who gets a touch, puts the ball into touch for a throw into Barcelona. Dembélé wants it, returns it to Malcolm. Vidal. Back to Umtiti. Murillo. And now Todibo. Forced back by the pressure of David Ferreiro, returns it to Ter Stegen. Under pressure, he plays it out. Umtiti.
And Huesca having, well, let's see how it finishes.
Good ball to Wague. Wague looks up. Supported here by Aleñá, who wins the throw. Taken quickly. Todibo inside to Vidal, gets it back. Picks out Murillo. Now Umtiti, everybody except Ter Stegen in the Huesca half. Boateng to Malcolm. Pudge certainly looks confident on the ball. Ricky Pudge, that's misplaced pass though, straight into the path of Moy Gomez, but no one in a Huesca shirt waiting for that one.
It's going to be difficult for Huesca because I'm sure that they didn't expect this system for Barcelona, the three centre-backs. And then what they're doing is they're pressing the three centre-backs with the three strikers, with Gallego, Cucho and Ferreiro. What happens then? That they only have three players in the midfield and Barcelona have five. The three in the midfield plus the two carrileros. That means that Barcelona have two more players or two players extra in midfield, and that's why Huesca cannot control the situation, cannot press. The only solution would be not to send the two wing backs, the two wings to press to the centre backs, leave them in the midfield, but then Barcelona will have two more players in defence. So difficult situation, because whatever they do, Barcelona will have one or two extra men to build up, as we've seen again the chance of Sam Dembélé. Good news to see him back again on the pitch.
It is good news indeed, and once again seeing just how important and complex that save from Santamaria was. And meanwhile, we saw Boateng going on the end of Wague's cross. The shot not really troubling Santamaria at all. It's Barca starting to dominate possession of the ball. Vidal getting a little clip on the back of the heels by Gallego. Play on, says the referee. Dembélé showing his pace. The control let him down there as he just got into the Huesca area. It will be a Barcelona throw, but looking sharp, Dembélé, after his long layoff. Valverde will be very, very interested in following how Dembélé does this afternoon. Alignat finds Wague, coming into plenty of contact with the ball. Moussa Wague is Vidal.
That's the situation we are talking. Barcelona having more players in midfield, and that makes Huesca to have Ferreiro and Chimi just basically dropping 10-15 yards to join the midfield. Otherwise it will be difficult.
Good ball from Rivera, collected by Juan Piañor. The Venezuelan comes up against the Chilean Arturo Vidal. Malcolm trying to feed it through to Dembélé. And Dembele's body language telling us exactly where he wanted the ball, and it wasn't where Malcolm put it, but there will be a free kick to Barcelona.
I think he was telling Dembélé that he wanted to put the ball, but he saw him in offside situation.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't pass the ball and he had to wait. And this is the foul of Ferreiro.
Referee just adjusting his laces there. Kick taken. Vidal to Malcolm. Pudge calling for it and getting it, but dispossessed immediately. Neat combination play by Huesca. It's picked up by Chumi Avila. He finds Gallego. And Ricky Pudge battling to win it back. Gallego absolutely surrounded by salmon-coloured shirts, still holding on to the ball. Juanpi is brought down. The referee seeing if there's an advantage. Alignat, in fact, feeling that Juanpi wasn't fouled. It's collected now by Malcolm. The home fans not too happy with that. Vidal to Dembélé, now Ricky Pudge. Dembélé again. Unfortunately for him, Umtiti was there to block that. There's one for Chumi Avila to chase. Doing well, Murillo. But it's kept going nicely by Miramon. Here's Avila again. Avila wins a corner. Applause from the home fans, almost as though that were a goal for Huesca. We're halfway through the first half, still no score. And these two teams looking really fairly evenly balanced on the evidence of the opening 23 minutes. There's Juanpi, clearly not fouled, the referee spot on there. And it will be Juan Piañor to take it, the Venezuelan with the sweet left foot. This will be an in-swinger, presumably. Driven into the near post where it's headed clear. And played all the way back to Roberto Santamaria. Sends it back deep into the Barca half. Umtiti's underneath it. It's collected nicely by Miramon. Did well to progress, keeping the ball up, and wins a throw. No, it's a Barcelona throw, to the disappointment of Jorge Miramon.
And very intense also Arturo Vidal, helping the three central backs. Wherever Huesca are attacking, he's always swinging or going to that area and to help the players, to help the three defenders. It is true that the gaps between the defenders and the carrileros is always a space where Huesca can attack, but the fact that they always three defenders in defense, it gives more control and more tranquility to Barcelona in terms of any counter-attack.
And Vidal, one thing he's shown us since signing for Barcelona, even when he hasn't been an out-and-out first choice, is he plays with that intensity every minute he's on the pitch.
And it's always interesting to have a different player in the squad.
Different kind of player, more physical perhaps. I think he's done really, really well. I'm sure Valverde's delighted with Arturo Vidal's performances so far. There he is again, winning that one back superbly. Finds Wagué, gets the return ball. Here's Alignat. Dembélé, first time out to Ricky Puig. He in turn finds Malcolm. This is a little bit more fluid from Barcelona now. Puig.
Look that Huesca are leaving the three strikers up front. So not even Timmy here is defending. So they're defending with 7.
Wagué. Dembélé returns it to Wagué in the area now. Ricky Puig. It's a good challenge from Juanpi, and it was one he had to win. Yeah, it's a very positive attitude from Huesca, isn't it?
Well, what they're doing, they're leaving 3 players up front against the 3 central backs. It's a 3v3, but in defense they are suffering because they are off number.
Malcolm wasting the opportunity there after the referee had played advantage. Had a good look at that, did the match referee from the Balearic Islands, Mr. Cuadra Fernandez. Semedo explaining to some aspect of the play to Jordi Alba on the Barcelona bench. Certainly plenty of talent on that Barca bench today. Vidal wins the ball again. Had no control over it though, and boots it upfield where it's collected by Xavi Acheta. Juan Piagnor seeing a lot of the ball in this first half. To my mind, one of the most creative and stylish players in this Huesca side, although the pass to Ferreiro just over here will be a goal kick. Had a tough time with things, Añor, after a spell at Malaga with injuries, but convincing Francisco in the second half of the season to give him plenty of time out on the pitch.
He's a great player with the ball, good left foot, good quality, good vision of football. Putting always good balls like this one. It wasn't as good as it normally does, but a fantastic player. And we've seen before in the image Christian Rivera, who shared the same shirt last year at Ricky Puig in Barcelona B. So they were teammates in Barcelona B. Not with Wagué, because Wagué just arrived this season, but it was with Ricky Puig last season at Barcelona B.
Here's Alignat.
And Alignat some games also.
Yep, of course. Here's Umtiti. Dropping very deep indeed. Dembélé looking to link with Malcolm, instead finding the head of Pulido. Vidal wins it back again. Already we've lost count of how many balls have been recuperated by the Chilean. I think he clearly sees himself as being a really important part of this team selected by Valverde to take on Huesca today. Assuming the responsibility, Vidal, there he leaves it for Murillo. This is Malcolm. Puig. Murillo floating one wide towards Wagué, won by Galán. Ferreiro. There's one for Galán to chase. And it's really well dealt with by Todibo. Although it will be a throw to Huesca, a throw which Galán wants to take quickly but can't quite see the option. Moy Gomez, Galán. Good work from Ferreiro to get away from Alignat. It's an intelligent ball too, but given away by Miramont to Umtiti, who's quick to find Dembélé. Lovely little footwork there from Dembélé. Rivera can't take it off him, can't stop him. Here's Alignat, who is dispossessed. Fernando held back by Vidal. Free kick given. It's quickly taken, but it will have to be taken again. Referee just having a word there with Carlos Alignat, I feel. The free kick to be retaken. Here's Moi Gomez. Galan. Good work from Fernando. Galan not understanding his intention though, and it's collected easily by Moussa Wagué. Vidal caught napping on the ball there. This is Gallego, showing tremendous determination. Juanpi looking for Avila. Avila on the edge of the box, just can't quite the shot off. In the end, it's collected here superbly. Pudge taking advantage of Dembélé's little pass, caught on the ball. Still, we continue as Boateng looks for Malcolm. It's a wild one from Kevin Prince Boateng, and Barca's counter breaks down.
Good counter-attack for Riqui Puig, but very good in defense also. Huesca just chasing him and getting the ball back. They are defending well. At the moment they lost the ball, you see how many players they just drop, and quick drop, and they defend very, very well. And Riqui Puig having some ups and downs with the ball, very good. At the moment he has to fight in the contacts, in the duels, having a little bit more problems. Is expected, but that would be a fantastic experience for him also.
So much talked about him. He's already completed 60 training sessions with the first team of Barcelona under Valverde. Such a tiny figure though on the pitch, but if there's one team where your physical height doesn't seem to matter too much, it's Barcelona.
Well, it reminds us a little bit to Andrés Iniesta somehow. It was Andrés is not big, is not very, very quick, but is very, very talented, very similar to Riqui Puig. Hopefully he can have
shorter than
yeah, he's a bit shorter. Yeah.
I can think of one or two really short players who've had success at Barcelona over recent years. Certain
Lionel
Messi springs to mind. Yeah, that's good solid work from Moi Gomez. Neat ball too for Fernando to chase. He won't keep it in play. The home fans applauding. I think they're enjoying this. Huesca very much not in command, but certainly not being battered by Barca by any means. The scorecard reading 0-0, reflecting perfectly the situation. Barca with the clearest chance, that one from Dembélé, well saved by Santa Maria. Apart from that, and a header from the resulting corner. They haven't really created too much. Murillo's header palmed over by Santa Maria. As for Huesca, well, no real threat posed to Marc-Andre ter Stegen, but they've enjoyed plenty of possessional play and looking quick to get onto the front foot. That one's floated towards Fernando, advantage. Ter Stegen always so quick to read the danger and come out of the 6-yard box there.
I was going to say that these diagonal balls of Huesca today is difficult, that they can create some problems when Barcelona are really defending with the two carrileros with the centre backs. But the moment there is a quick transition like this one, that you could see that Wagué is not there yet and Malcolm is not there, so there is a big space there at the back of the defenders that they can find some players there. But at the moment that Barcelona already is back and with 5 players defending, it's going to be very difficult for Huesca.
Pudge in, it's Alignat in an offside position who can't quite control that one. Just for some of our international viewers, carrilleros is the words that Albert's using, and it's wing back, if you like,
yeah.
But it's an expression that isn't really used too much in English to refer to those positions anymore, although in recent years, of course, it seems to have come back into fashion a little bit with this idea of your 3-man central defence.
So wing-backs then?
Wing-backs is the expression to describe Wagué and Malcolm today, as Chuy Avila has an attempt blasted way off target. That's the second time Avila's tried from outside the area. And again, worth a try. There's not an example of some great footwork by TIểimP LA LIGA. And some good control from some of the Barca players. We have to call them second string players, really, but in the first 11 today, there's one for a chase. And in the end, it was well dealt with by a combination of Pulido and Santamaria. Good ball, though, from Puig to initially set up that attack.
The good thing of Ricky Puig at the moment that he has a couple of seconds to leave up his head and look what's happening is his passes and his assists are fantastic.
Certainly looks full of confidence. Malcolm there returning that one to Samuel Umtiti.
Here we're seeing Huesca trying to press.
Free kick. Moy Gomez on Carlos Aliñá. There is Ricky Puig. Certainly a lot of Barca fans delighted to see him get a chance today. There has been plenty of interest in him in the media and on social networks this season. Although I think, Albert, you feel there are other players in Barca B who maybe deserve as much of a chance to step up into the first team as Ricky Puig.
Yeah, they're working very well. Although they are 2 tiers down, as you said, they're in second division B. They're working well, and there are some players there like Collado, for instance, Miranda, who has played with the first team in some Copa del Rey games. To me, also, there are some good players there. Aliñá just came from there from last season, so are doing a great job.
Lovely footwork from Dembélé, gets away from a little tug on the shirt. Wagge with the cross, and Prince Boateng on the far post, just failing to get on the end of it. That's, I think it's fair to say, the first time Barcelona have really carved this defence apart, and it's all started with that superb footwork and turn from Dembélé. Probably Wagge just offside as he put the ball came to him. Whips the cross in low, and Kevin Prince Boateng just got a touch there, I think.
Yeah, but it was a good cross. It wasn't an easy cross. It was a good cross. He kept the ball down, and here is not offside. He's offside when he receives it, when he's in the wide position.
Ter Stegen sending it long. No problems for Cheta to keep it in play.
But I think what Ernesto Valverde has got with this change of system is not seeing the typical game of Huesca at home, where he puts a lot of crosses, put a lot of players in the opposite team. They send them back and they dominate the game. Today Barcelona are better, are very secure in defense, are with extra players basically in defense and in midfield. So I think the tactics were fantastic, considering the players that he had to put in the first 11, not risking any of the regular players that they are on the bench.
On the bench or back in Barcelona and haven't even travelled, which is the case of Gerard Piqué, Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez,
Busquets, Rakitic, so plenty of them. But considering that he had 3 central backs in the team, he played them all 3, and the fact that there are 3 always defending, it gives Barcelona more security in defence.
Another firm challenge from Vidal to win that ball back. Aliñá finding Puig to Malcolm. Kevin Prince Boateng. Puig to Vidal. Dembélé returning it, gets it back from Vidal. Picks out Malcolm wide on the left. Malcolm's cross is blocked, he'll get a second opportunity. Miramon sticking to him. Umtiti into Dembélé. Aliñá. Vidal. Samuel Umtiti again. Now Malcolm. Barcelona just lulling Huesca at the moment. It's probably Barca's longest possession. Dembélé. Well, it's a great idea. Boateng had turned his back on it, and that's the attitude of a player who hasn't had many minutes in this Barca first team, as we see Boateng just failed to get enough of his boot on that cross from Wage. But I mean, that ball snapped in by Dembélé. That's the kind of thing that Messi and or Suarez absolutely feed upon, isn't it?
Yeah, possibly, yeah, they will there. Barcelona will be up front, but...
Oh, it's a great run. And in the end, Gallego's attempt dragged wide with the left foot, powered his way into the area. Moment of hesitation as Todipo's attempted clearance with the head wasn't too successful. Gallego, you don't have to give him too much sight of a space for him to latch onto it. The veteran striker, as I said earlier, this is his first ever half season in the top flight, but he has scored piles of goals in every other division of Spanish football. Vidal left standing there by Christian Rivera. It will be a throw to Huesca.
And talking about Huesca, the games that I've seen many games playing a team with 3 central backs, another one with 4 central backs, and not really finding the way of getting there. I'm considering that Huesca have played, watch out with Ferreiro.
Ferreiro cutting, gets the ball onto the right foot. It's a firm cross, Chimiabala under it. Vidal has time as the ball bounced high and seemed to take an eternity to come down, to just nod it back to Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and it's Vidal to play the ball out as well.
I was saying that considering that Huesca have played many times with a three central back system, sometimes when you don't find the solution, the managers tend in the second half to change the system and equal the system. Do basically play the same system at the opposition, and then in more situations on the pitch is like man-to-man situations, and it's better to compete. So it could be it could be an option for Huesca in the second half if they don't feel comfortable to go back to 3 centre backs.
Well, Vidal went in firmly there. The referee was well placed to see it and waved play on. Boateng complaining about an off-the-ball incident. Not too much there. Juan P, the right arm, whipping round and just catching Boateng, who responds with a little bit of disappointment that the challenge from the Venezuelan came. I mean, not too much in it, I think it's fair to say, but it is a Barcelona free kick. The home fans felt that free kick should have gone to Huesca for the earlier challenge from Arturo Vidal. Here's Umtiti looking for Wage, finding the head of Galan instead. And is that an off the ball? Well, it's a yellow card for Jean-Claire Todipo. And I'll wait to see it again. 3 minutes to go. Just blocking David Ferreiro. It's been causing him problems down that right flank of Barca's defence.
Well, this is the space that we were talking. Moussa Wagué was pressing forward to the player of the ball, and then Ferreiro make a run forward at that space, and Todipo considered that Ferreiro just gave him just gaining for a couple of yards on the run and decided to stop him there. Well, that's a clear yellow card, but possibly is a foul that he had to commit.
I'm sure Ernesto Valverde would agree 100% with you there, Albert. First yellow card of the game. Dembélé dispossessed there by Rivera. It's quick to find Ferreiro. Gets away from Vidal. Cross driven in low, headed clear by Ricky Puig of all people. And Moy Gomez shot, never really going to threaten ter Stegen. But Huesca just raising the tempo a little bit in the last few minutes before the half-time break. And been no shortage of attempts from outside the box from the home team. Doing well to avoid the challenge from Vidal there, David Ferreiro. This one falling for Boateng. And again, Huesca dealing with the problem easily, although Moy Gomez loses out to Aliñá, who tries a shot with the left foot. And also well wide of the target.
Good try from Aliñá, who has a fantastic shot from from long distance, and again Ferreiro just receiving the ball very, very wide. This is the area where he really can harm Barcelona. When Wagué is forward, he receives the ball at the back of Wagué, and then the centre back is too far. Arturo Vidal has to come, but then his 1v1 is fantastic. So it was a great piece of skill there and a good cross also.
Well, we saw both managers. Who do you think is the happier of the two as we near the half-time break, Abed?
Well, I'm sure that both will be happy because both teams are having a good game, but considering the circumstances, Ernesto Valverde will be the happier one, because with 10 players from the last game, I think Barcelona are playing a very good game. And Huesca,
he didn't look too happy though, Valverde. He never does, really, does he?
Well, he has to be very demanding,
yeah.
For these top players, and I think that's good for the players. But we have to say that Barcelona are playing well, and also Huesca are trying to find his possibilities.
Ferreira with the free kick. Down goes Gallego. Has a look at the referee, who's unimpressed, and points to a goal kick. And there will be no time added whatsoever as he blows for half-time. It's Huesca 0, Football Club Barcelona 0, after a lively opening 45 minutes. 10 changes in the side selected by Ernesto Valverde to take on the Liga's basement club, Huesca. And quite frankly, it's been on as even. And the fact that they go in at half-time with the score at 0-0, fair, I think, for what we've seen. What do you expect Valverde to do in terms of changes in this second half?
I think Valverde won't do any change at the moment, not from the beginning of the second half, and I don't think Francisco do neither. But I'm considering a change of system for Francisco if something goes the same way, and for Ernesto Valverde, if he can save the 5 players he has on the bench for next Tuesday, I think he will do.
Okay, half-time score in El Alcoraz, Huesca 0, Barcelona 0. I bet Ferrer and myself will be back in 12 minutes to bring you the second half from El Alcoraz.
Luôn có những khó khăn khốc liệt trong từng trận đấu, nhưng không gì có thể cản bước những nhà vô địch can đảm, quyết đoán và tỉnh táo, vượt qua mọi thử thách. Với Clemen, mỗi khoảnh khắc nỗ lực hết mình đều là những khoảnh khắc vô địch. Đồng hành cùng những nhà vô địch Clemen.
They go crazy for football. And you know what? It's totally contagious. When you watch a match, you become one of them. Can't be football. That's got to be something else.
Welcome back to El Alcoraz, the home of Huesca, the basement club in La Liga Santander, fighting desperately for survival in their first ever top flight season. They're visited by La Liga leaders Barcelona, enjoying an 11-point gap or advantage at the top of the table. It's first against 20th and it's 0-0 after an entertaining opening 45 minutes. Here in Huesca, the home team first out onto the pitch for the second half. They're playing a Barcelona 11 with 10 changes from the team that beat Atletico Madrid in what could possibly be the decisive clash of this season's La Liga. Last weekend in the Camp Nou, everybody changed from that team except for keeper Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and it hasn't been a bad Barcelona performance over the opening 45 minutes, although it's fair to say they haven't enjoyed too many clear-cut chances. One cross from Wagé collected, or nearly collected, by Kevin Prince Boateng stands out towards the end of the first half for Huesca. Well, they've caused Barcelona one or two problems, especially down the left flank in attack, where Javier Galán and David Ferreiro in particular have ganged up to cause one or two problems to Moussa Wagé and Jean-Claire Todipo. And the second half about to get underway. We'll see Albert Ferrer if Francisco makes any of the strategic changes you suspect he might be going through his head to deal with this rather different Barcelona formation.
It doesn't look like the beginning. It seems they're playing with 4 defenders again in this 4-3-3 formation. Let's see if they have told something in the halftime, in the dressing room, something to solve the situation and try to get more times in front of ter Stegen.
It's Riqui Puig on the ball for Barca. Plays it back to Samuel Umtiti. He's quick to pick out Todibo. Umtiti again. I mean, I suppose Francisco's probably thinking that really that 45 minutes was pretty much toe-to-toe with not much to choose between the two sides, and with Huesca playing for so much as this one played in to Boateng, who's battling not to lose it and does well to find Riqui Puig. Now Aliñá.
Well, considering Huesca's situation, this is one of the games that you expected Huesca to be on top of Barcelona and put them or press them and trying to create something or putting some crosses in, something create a situation difficult to live for Barcelona, and it hasn't been this way. Barcelona has been very comfortable in defense, even having most of the time the ball. So well, I think it's a scenario that we didn't expect, and I'm sure that Francisco would love to see, because there's not much room of after that game to start winning points.
Vidal, lovely ball. Alignat does well and is dispossessed in the end by Echeta, aided and abetted by Harry Galán. I mean, I think the point is that there is so much at stake for Huesca. They have tended to perform better in the second halves of recent games. Certainly the home fans will be willing them on to repeat that. But despite the fact that it's a pretty much untried and untested Barca 11 today, they have looked, as you pointed out, certainly very comfortable on the ball. Here's Vidal. Thinks about a short pass to Puig. Instead he's got time to pick his pass. Dembélé returning from an offside position, the flag up. It'll be Huesca to put the ball back in play. Usman Dembélé has a little look at the linesman. Certainly was tight, but as you can see, as Vidal's ball is played in, clearly the Frenchman in an offside position. Be Roberto Santamaria to put the ball back in play. Sends it high, long and wide to the right, where it's won by Chumi Avila. This is Juan P. Miramon. Well, there was a chase. Won by Vidal, who gets consoled by Chumi Avila. Free kick quickly taken and played back to Marc-André ter Stegen. Now leaving it for Todipo. Murillo to Umtiti. And problems for Malcolm, who gives away a throw. Miramon wants to take it quickly. Cucho Hernandez warming up for Huesca. Here's Avila. Chumi Avila brought down. And it will be a free kick to Huesca.
In that previous moment when Barcelona passed the ball from one central back to the one which is wide, was the signal for Chumi Avila to go and press this third central back, and then Enrique Gallego go to press to the one in the middle. So don't allow Barcelona to go back and change to the other side. It is something that they have, what I've seen at the moment, that they have worked in the half-time.
Juan Piagnon with the free kick. Swings it in with that sweet left foot of his. It's headed clear. Juan P chases back to collect. Huesca start again, and they'll start again with the ball at the feet of Roberto Santamaria, who made 3 saves in the first half. The most important one to frustrate Usman Dembélé was set through, and with only the keeper to beat, was frustrated as came off Santamaria's leg. Good save from the keeper. It's played back to ter Stegen. Calm as a cucumber plays that one out. Todipo to Wage. Inside to Alignat. Now Ricky Puig gets it back from Malcolm. This is Umtiti. Puig again. Malcolm once more, not really going places Barca, but holding on to possession of the ball. Umtiti. Alignat. Dembélé to Wage. Well, there was good understanding there, but Wage's ball just too firmly struck for Dembélé to get on the end of it.
Well, we will see if Dembélé will play for 90 minutes. I don't think so. Well, we're just seeing now Coutinho and Jordi Alba warming up. So Coutinho should be the natural replacement for Dembélé, who, considering that he can have some minutes on Tuesday, he shouldn't be playing 90 minutes today.
Lovely ball from Avila, collected by Ferreiro. Wage sticking to him. Ferreiro gets the cross into the far post. hasn't been dealt with yet, and in the end there's an appeal for penalty by the home fans more than the home players, as Malcolm tries to break free but dispossessed by Miramon, who plays it back to Santa Maria. And Gallego, the man who went down in the area under pressure from Marc-Andre ter Stegen.
No, there's
Not too
nothing.
much in it.
I think he holds the position, ter Stegen, and then he puts his foot on the ball, and there's nothing.
Juan Piagnol for Huesca. Turns away from Malcolm. Ricky Puig goes into press. Played out quickly by Pulido to Galan. Cross whipped in, it's a good one. Dealt with by Umtiti. It was awkward coming over his shoulder. He puts it out for a corner as Huesca put the pressure on and the home fans get behind their team. I don't think Umtiti saw that in the end. Here's the challenge, if you like, by ter Stegen on Gallego, that the fans behind the goal felt should have been rewarded with a penalty. The referee absolutely unimpressed, Mr. Cuadro Fernandez. Another corner for Huesca, a third of the game. Añor has the option of the short corner with Ferreiro here. Plays it short, Ferreiro with the right foot. It's the gloves of ter Stegen, who's anxious to play it out quickly. Picking out Carlos Aliñá. Dembélé surely offside there, yes indeed. The linesman has a look at the referee before raising the flag.
Oh, the pass should have been done half a second before, yeah?
Absolutely
Now,
there.
he had to stop, but...
Well, in fact, I'm not sure the linesman got it right seeing it again. I mean, it was played at such pace, but that's an error. That shouldn't have been flagged.
Yeah, I think what it counts in that situation is the elbow of Dembélé. I think he was a bit more forward than Pulido.
Yeah, but you can't score with your elbow, can you?
Well, his shoulder, I don't know.
It was close, it was a close
Yeah.
one, yeah, and it happened at top pace. Played back to ter Stegen. Either way, Barcelona looking sharp on the break there.
They're okay on the break, and Huesca, I think they found a slightly way to attack them, just creating these situations 2 versus 1 in the flanks, basically the full back and the wing attacking the wing back of Barcelona 2v1, and then putting some crosses in. Well, that's the space where they create some extra men situations, and I think they have used it a couple of times already.
I've just seen the stat that Barca have been caught offside 7 times to Huesca's 1. Huesca have to be very careful playing the offside trap, because you only really have to beat it once to have a goal situation. Juanpi, the ball through, just took a slight deflection and took a bit of pace off it. Here's Wagué, Aliñá, Vidal. Just think about it before floating the pass in. There's a chase for Malcolm. Advantage for Miramon. It comes off Malcolm, who can't keep it in place. He's bundled over. The referee allows it. Throw in to Huesca, quickly taken. I think Malcolm a little bit disappointed with that decision. Well, that's a loose ball. Dembélé. Cut back. And the shot, first time from Ousmane Dembélé with the left foot. Sliced wide. Wagué penetrating the Huesca defence there neatly. And I think Carlos Aliñá wanted that one.
Yeah, he did it because he went into his left foot and just basically to shot a goal. But Dembélé took the chance, and well, it was corner kick. But good counter. Well, it wasn't a counter attack; it was a lost ball. But Huesca have to be careful with that, because Barcelona are playing with 2 strikers. 2 strikers means when the fullbacks of Huesca are attacking, is a 2v2 situation all the time in the counter-attack. So they have to be careful there in not losing any ball.
Malcolm with the corners, floated in high. Vidal didn't get on the end of it. It's poorly cleared. Umtiti challenging there with Chumi Avila. Malcolm off the upright, and then the shot from Aliñá. Aliñá taking a deflection and missing by inches. Barcelona's 2 best chances of the game coming in the same move. Jimmy Avila dispossessed there by Umtiti. The first shot for Malcolm rocketing back off the upright before Aligna. Well, his shot was on target before it took a deflection. In comes the next corner, headed clear by Gallego, only as far as Aligna is Ricky Puig. Aligna again. It's a good ball. Vidal, decent cross, but Prince unable to get on the end of it. Applauding the intentions of Arturo Vidal, who's putting in, if you like, a captain's performance today for Barca.
Yeah, definitely, and he's been fantastic in that position. Also left the position a few times, but he's well covered by the other players, the other two midfielders, and playing a great game. It's strange to see how is it possible that sometimes with the first choice players of Barcelona not playing, the Barcelona having so many opportunities in this second half. It is true that when any team play against Leo Messi or Luis Suarez, unconsciously they just drop back, and they're defending very, very deep, leaving no spaces. When they are not in the pitch, it seems like they have more opportunity to harm them, and they're leaving more space like now.
Dembélé with a tremendous run. Couldn't quite link with Boateng. Ball cleared, collected superbly by Juanpi. He finds Chumi, can't quite keep it in play. It will be a throw to Barca. Just over hitting the pass there, Juanpi. Valverde's face tells a story as Francisco prepares his first change. And it looks like it's going to be Gonzalo Melero. Dembélé again can't quite make the final pass pay, but starting to look much more dynamic. Ousmane Dembélé. Ricky Puig wins the ball, but illegally it will be a free kick.
Let's see where Francisco play Melero, who we have to say that one of the best players of last season, when Huesca just got promoted to first division. Didn't play much this season for whatever reasons, but was a very important player for Huesca.
And he's replacing Juanpi Añor. What's the thinking behind that? Because to my mind, Juanpi's been, at least in theory, their most decisive player in terms of his passing skills, his dead ball.
But Melero is one of these players that they can create some offensive situations. Is not as good as Juanpi with the ball on the feet, but is more physical. So I think what Francisco is trying to do now is to put in some more players in attack, in these quick transitions, players that can get into the box, not only with the quality but also with the physical presence, and Melero is one of them.
The ball whipped in, and not knowing too much about it, Malcolm heads it out for a corner. We're coming up to the hour mark in the game. The second half, if anything, the pace has upped a little bit from the first. Obviously no Juanpi Añor to take the corner. He's taken all of Huesca's corners so far, but has been replaced by Gonzalo Melero. Another opportunity for Huesca from the set piece. It's going to be David Ferreiro to take it, right-footed. Floated in towards the far post, nodded down. Ter Stegen quick to grasp ahead of Xavi Acheta, who's lurking on the far post. One straight back to the enthusiasm of the home fans. Everything at stake for Huesca. As Santa Maria sends it deep. Vidal winning the loose ball. Goes through to Santa Maria again. Plays it short this time. Floated in, one in the air. Vidal. It's an ambitious one towards Kevin Prince Boateng. Well, the first time ball, a decent idea from TIliwonP, but the only person waiting for it was Samuel Umtiti. Wage to Aligna, does well to find Dembele. Aligna brought down, it's a free kick. Moy Gomez with the foul. It's interesting, to my mind, Dembele and Aligna looking like players who would fit very easily into Barcelona's first choice starting 11, because they show for the ball even when surrounded by 3 or 4 rival players. No hesitation in the quick, short first-time pass.
I think Ousmane has improved a lot since he arrived to Barcelona in this aspect. I think at the beginning he lost many balls.
Boateng battling to win this loose one. It's held on to, though, by Christian Rivera. Good work from Moy. Here's Melero. Intercepted nicely. Aligna, a bit more open now. And that's a good steal. And that's a good response, too, from Riqui Puig. Jorge Miramon sprinting down the right. He felt he'd got a break on, but Riqui Puig had other thoughts. And we are going to see that first change, Philippe Coutinho, to come on, you think, to replace Dembele?
See, it should be Dembele, I believe.
Seems logical.
Yeah. But I don't know if he will play as a second striker like Dembele, or he will play more well, not in the positions of Aligna and Riqui Puig, but let's see where Valverde just plays him on the pitch.
Aligna.
You're saying about Dembele, the first games he lost many balls, and then I think with the help of his teammates he realized that he had to lose less balls and less balls, not to risk so much in some circumstances, and he has improved a lot. Yeah. In case of Aligna, he comes through the ranks of the academy, so they have it with him. So the main thing in the academy of Barcelona is keeping the ball, not lose it, playing quick, 1-2 touches, and obviously he has it.
And Jordi Alba also preparing to come on for Barcelona, I believe. I saw the 8, it may well have been Artur Melo.
Well, then that could be a reason of going back to 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Or placing Jordi Alba as a wing-back would be another option.
Dembele, problems for him. Chance for Huesca on the break. David Ferreiro. Clattered into by Arturo Vidal, who's penalised on this occasion, not too happy about that. But again, it has been a very solid performance from Vidal. He feels he got the ball fairly there. The referee had other thoughts.
He didn't get it fairly.
Free kick to Huesca. The Barca changes will have to wait. It's played short. Here's Miramon. Floats one in. Advantage Ter Stegen very quickly out of the 6-yard box once again. Titi. Finds Vidal, a weak one from him. That's a lovely ball for TIliwonP to chase. The cross comes off from Titi, falls to Riqui Puig.
So how happy was a member of the Huesca bench when Chimi made this run to the space. So I'm sure that they talk at the halftime that these other spaces to run, and at the moment that he did, he was cheered up by someone from the bench.
Dembele finding Malcolm. Return from Malcolm to Dembele. Drives it narrowly wide with the right foot. He struck that one well. He's looking very sharp now, Ousmane Dembele, which is ironic, because we feel he might be seeing there his final touch of the game. It's Jordi Alba and Coutinho coming on. Riqui Puig is replaced.
Coutinho by Riqui Puig. for Ricky Puig, I understand.
That's Alba the first on.
Dembélé.
It's been a good return from Ousmane Dembélé. I think Valverde will be fairly happy, especially in the second half. He's looked very sharp indeed.
No, he played a good game, very good game, considering that he comes from an injury, and you can see if he's fit when you see him sprinting and running 100%, and we see him with no problems, and I think he's fully fit, which is a fantastic news for Barcelona. Let's see how they play now. I think Malcolm is the one who's gone to as a striker with Prince Boateng, and Coutinho takes the position of Ricky Puig, and Jordi Alba the position of Malcolm. So basically a rotation of positions, but same system.
Logical changes there.
It wasn't any reason for changing the system, because Barcelona having a comfortable game, not suffering in defense, and it is true that now with Jordi Alba on the side, Barcelona will have more deep into this left side and will attack more through Jordi Alba, and Malcolm is fully able to play as a second striker, and which is quick to go on the break and run at the spaces.
First touch for Jordi Alba, and first touch for Philippe Coutinho, who plays it back to Umtiti. Murillo to Todibo. Ball sent back to him from Malcolm. Wagué. Malcolm wins a throw. Aligna. I mean, Aligna probably in Valverde's scheme of things is player number 13 or 14 at the moment, but I think we're going to see him creep up in coming seasons. I've been so impressed with him.
Yeah, I think that the first two changes, it will be Dembélé, Coutinho one, Sergio Roberto, Semedo, the next one, and then I think Aligna is the one who is normally coming into the midfield. But even in difficult situations, I remember Barcelona not winning games and 10 minutes to go and putting Aligna on the pitch, so that means that he has a lot of confidence in him. And I still believe that he can do more things. He's good keeping the ball, but in attack is still not the Aligna that we know from Barça B, and he can do more things.
Todibo penalised for that challenge on David Ferreiro. It's a free kick to Huesca.
Todibo had a yellow card, I think, in the first half. That's why they might have been talking to the referee.
Yep. The percussionist strike up in El Alcoraz. I mean, one thing's for sure, despite the fact that they're bottom of the table and have been practically all season, the atmosphere in this ground is fantastic. The fans absolutely determined to enjoy this season, seeing the visits of the likes of Barcelona. That one looping awkwardly over the bar, took a deflection, so it will be another corner, and again the fans are claiming it as though it were a goal almost. It's floated in. And the Chater up for it, and it's Murillo who got the touch. Yet another corner, corner number 5 for Huesca. Ferreiro swings it in. Nearly greeted there by Avila. Still Huesca on the ball. It's back in the box, and a lack of understanding there between Gallego and I think Moy Gomez, as the big man just cushioned it down. It is in fact Jorge Pulido. Pulido just standing back and waiting there. And David Ferreiro is replaced. I think deservedly getting a standing ovation. He's been one of the most important attacking players, but he's replaced by Cucho Hernandez, the 19-year-old who hasn't really had too much luck up front, but he's a huge talent, Cucho Hernandez. And as I was saying the other day, scored within 3 minutes of the kick-off against Barca in the Camp Nou, scored within 3 minutes in the Santiago Bernabeu against Real Madrid. If that's all you do, then it's a heck of a way to start your first division career, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And
something to tell the grandkids.
And being so young, because only 19 years old, is not easy. But I don't think nothing will change in terms of shape. He will play in the same position as Ferreiro, possibly more in the middle, trying to catch some of the flicks of Enrique Gallego. But a good future player with his fantastic skills.
Jordi Alba for Barcelona misplaced it. We saw how the stats came up just a few minutes ago. 65 losses of the ball to Huesca, 60 to Barcelona. Obviously those stats have changed over the last 5 minutes, but it's still not typical of Barca to be quite so lax with the ball.
No, it's not typical, but they're having a lot of the ball also today.
Sure. Cucho's first touch, being harried by Wagué, gets away from him nicely. It's a ball that Chumi Avalan very nearly got to ahead of Samuel Umtiti. Umtiti driving it low. Boateng winning a free kick, dispossessed by Xabi Acheta, but unfairly according to the match ref. Two changes made then in this second half from each coach. Melero and Cucho replacing Ferreiro and Juan P for Huesca, and Puig and Dembélé replaced by Jordi Alba and Coutinho for Barcelona. One change left for each manager. Coutinho goes down eventually under the challenge of Melero. Takes the free kick back to Jason Murillo. Finds Jordi Alba. Aleñá. Now Vidal. Wagué to Malcolm. Malcolm finding Coutinho. Tries to go wide of Miramon and dispossessed. I think most of us expected him to go inside and get the ball onto his favoured right foot. Avila finding Gallego. Cucho Hernandez first time inside to Melero. Plenty of blue and red shirts forward. If Melero can find them. Cucho, Samuel Umtiti preventing him from getting the shot off is Coutinho. Malcolm. Coutinho again. Good ball to Prince. Can't get beyond Pulido. Alba chasing back. Firm challenge from Vidal. Cucho holding it up. The loose ball collected by Vidal. Problems for Chumi Avila. And problems too for a Barca player. I didn't see who that was, Chappie.
Aleñá was on the floor, was the second one, and the first one, I don't know if it was.
It's Vidal, but he got up quickly after.
No, it wasn't Vidal. I think
No, it wasn't.
It's no Malcolm, Jordi Alba could be.
It's Murillo, Jason Murillo. Being helped to his feet, but I think well, they'll have to spend some time getting treatment off the playing surface. Let's see if we can see it. There's Umtiti's earlier challenge on Cucho.
There's nothing there. But Murillo complained in the last cross of Huesca that he headed it out. He complained about his back, and now again we see it here.
Well spotted indeed. It's clearly the problem right in the base of the spine there for Jason Murillo. Receiving a bit of a standing massage on the sidelines. Barcelona momentarily down to 10. Miramon gets it back from Melero. Being harried by Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba will be enjoying playing the wing back instead of the full back role, although really that's his role anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He can go up and down for fun, so a lot of room. More difficult to go back to defend. You have to be quicker to defend, but he can do it perfectly.
Jason Murillo has been given the okay by the Barca medical staff, just waiting for the referee, and he's back on the pitch. Barcelona back to 11. Vidal. Todipo. Vidal again. Aleñá showing for the ball. A little turn of speed and directions. The last touch from Aleñá just bobbled off his knee. And it's Melero starting the counter. Melero again. It's played back to Cheta. Cucho in the air. Umtiti, Vidal. Umtiti again. Coutinho. And Alba back to Umtiti. Here's Murillo, fully recovered from that back problem. Picks out Wagué, who wins the throw for Football Club Barcelona. 77 minutes on the clock. Still Huesca 0, Barcelona 0.
And very interesting what Enrique Gallego is doing when Huesca are attacking. There's a foul of Wagué in the throw-in. I was saying that Enrique Gallego, instead of going for the high balls to head it back in to fight with the centre backs, he's always in the position of Wagué, so he's always jumping with Wagué, who is shorter than him, and he secures that he wins all these high balls, and then someone else just runs in through the middle to get the second ball, but always trying to jump with the shortest one, and in that case would be Wagué, or on the other side would be Jordi Alba, not with the centre backs.
Although we just saw him win that aerial duel with Jason Murillo, who came out of it rubbing the small of his back yet again. And Artur Melo preparing to come on, as he will be the third change made, third substitution introduced by Ernesto Valverde. Malcolm back to Vidal. There's Murillo. And Titi urging him forward. Picks out Alba. Coutinho. Vidal. Aleñá. Neat turn from Malcolm. Looks for the return. Prince Boateng just unable to get it to him. Murillo to Aleñá. His problems bringing it under control. Keeps hold of the ball though. Murillo again. Coutinho. Barcelona just over 70% of the possession. Huesca just under 30. And a foul committed there by Todipo. You can see Cucho Hernandez as the final changes made. Carlos Aleñá replaced by Artur Melo. Just perhaps, I mean, I was going to say to give Barca a little bit more control maybe in midfield, but I mean, you have that with Carlos Aleñá anyway, don't you? Yeah,
they had it, and the other option that he had, it was be substitute, or Artur substitute Arturo Vidal and played as a holding midfielder, but Arturo is doing fantastic today, so it's better not to touch it. And well, Artur will do basically the same as Aleñá with a fresher leg, so I think it's a good change.
Again, a good performance from Carlos Aleñá, as we've mentioned. Artur Melo with his first touch picks out Wagué. Gets the return ball from Malcolm. Todipo. Into the last 10 minutes of this, like in the first half, been very few stoppages, only really the substitutions. Vidal with the intercept. Here's Jordi Alba. Boateng. Coutinho. Alba. Return ball to Coutinho. Couldn't quite bring it under control. Vidal. Artur. Quick to find Malcolm on the right flank. Malcolm held up by Kevin Prince Boateng.
But unfortunately, he's not holding any of the balls that he should, and give some time to the other players to receive it. I know, considering he's got a great, strength and big body, he should be doing a bit better and trying to keep some balls.
Coutinho seeking to link with Alba, gave it away to Miramon. Play on, says the referee. There was a coming together between Gallego and Murillo yet again. Referee clearly saw it as 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Acheta clears. Collected the loose ball by Vidal again. Artur prevented by Moy Gomez from collecting that. This is better. Galan leaving it for Cucho. Here's Melero. Galan again, Cucho in the middle calling for it. Galan just running into a dead-end street there. And it's collected by Artur. Here's Coutinho. Alba has a look around him, returns it to the Brazilian. Coutinho finding Malcolm. It's a poor one for Malcolm, and Artur making very little attempt to get to it. Rivera finding Cucho Hernandez. Todipo doing really very well indeed. That was one of the first real tests for Todipo in this second half, and he came out with flying colours. Here's Coutinho. Artur. Wague to Malcolm. Artur again. Coutinho. It's just a wall of red and blue shirts in front of him. He picks out Titi. Jordi Alba. Coutinho again, playing very deep. Philippe Coutinho.
Well, it is true that now Barcelona with Coutinho and Artur, although they had it with Aleñá and Riqui Puig, they're a more experienced player to hold the ball and control the tempo of the game and not lose the ball. So basically, we will see Barcelona having most of the control of the ball now from now until the end. But this is one of the situations where Huesca are level with Barcelona in the set play, so even better.
Yeah, free kick committed by Vidal on Moy Gomez, as we see Todipo dealing with Cucho Hernandez, attempt to get outside him there. And there's Gallego causing Murillo problems. You can't fault the spirit of this Huesca side, that's for sure. And obviously a draw and a point for them would be an excellent result, but they need wins rather than draws, as Ter Stegen forced to punch clear. Coutinho has a look around him. Artur, good ball in to Vidal, who's brought down. Free kick to Barcelona. 5 minutes to go as Arturo Vidal gets wearily to his feet. Sociedad Deportiva Huesca 0, Football Club Barcelona 0.
Well, they will be on 25 points now if he finishes like that.
Yeah, they're going to want to win though. They need to start winning games. And how often do you get the chance, being Huesca, to go into the last 5 minutes level with Barcelona, playing at home, playing in front of your fervent home fans? You have to throw everything forward, but
they have
take a risk, and
in the next 3 games they have 2 dramatic ones against Rayo and Villarreal, both down there with them.
Yeah, they're the ones that you need to win, the 6-pointers, no question. Vidal, chance here. Malcolm couldn't get much contact on it. Moy Gomez just made enough of physical contact with him to put him off his header. Here's Avilan. What a challenge there by Wague, saving the day for Barcelona, despite what the home fans appeal for. Chumi Avilan winning a corner there. He stays down, but I think the referee was perfectly placed to see this superb last gasp challenge from Moussa Wagué.
Yeah, we know
crucial.
he's a very quick, very pacey player, and the first challenge he wasn't very clear, but then he recovered, he got the position back, and he chased Chimi, and it was a fantastic challenge, no penalty, and great moment for Moussa Wagué, because a good difficulty for Barcelona, a good difficult moment.
And I think Chimi Avila knows quite well that was a fair challenge as well. He's disappointed, frustrated more than anything, and he's being replaced. The final change, Chimi Avila leaves the field of play for the final 3 minutes plus stoppage time, and coming on in his place is Alex Gaillard, who was very much the hero of their first ever game in the top flight. That win over Real Sociedad. Ball whipped in by Gaillard.
Another skillful player, good quality, but not playing much neither.
Francisco, we're seeing him screaming, we've been hearing him screaming all afternoon. So much riding on this as Jorge Miramon prepares to take the throw in. It's a fairly long one, nodded on by Pulido. Falls to Pulido again. Oh, lovely skill from Gaillard. Coutinho got enough contact on it, Prince Boateng can't, it's floated in, and in the end, Ter Stegen preventing another corner. And the time ticking away for Huesca. I can't see there being too much stoppage time added. 3 for the substitutions, maybe some for the treatment required by Jason Murillo. But I mean, not much more than 4 minutes. That's the time, plus this 1 and a bit left for Huesca to try and pick up the 3 points, or for Barcelona to try and add to their 73 points that keep them at the top of the table. It's a goal kick to Huesca. Santa Maria to take it, he'll send it long. Cucho was up for it. It falls to Wagué. He's looking for Malcolm. Well dealt with by Pulido.
And again, Enrique Gallego just receiving the ball in this wide position
And causing problems. There's a yellow card for Moussa Wagué. Second yellow card for a Barca player. Just so strong and dynamic. Enrique Gallego has played half of this season for Huesca, but even today he's still the top scorer in the second division. Quite astonishing. 15 goals in the first half of the season before moving to Huesca. Nobody's equalled him yet. In La Liga, 1, 2, 3, the 1, 2, 3, the Spanish second division. Free kick driven in low. Dealt with by Boateng, who's bundled over. Wins a free kick to Barcelona. Just the 3 minutes added. We're into the first of them as Jordi Alba blasts that one away.
Well, because they consider there's a good chance of counter-attack and the referee just stopped it.
Yellow card for Jorge Pulido, the first yellow for a Huesca player. I think I'm right in saying. I mean, with the team fighting for their top flight survival, you'd maybe expect them to
more intensity,
to play a little bit more intensely. Yeah, I mean, for the first yellow card to come in stoppage time is perhaps surprising. On the other hand, you could say they haven't really needed to play with much more intensity today.
But I think it had to do also, as I said, because they were surprised by the tactics of Barcelona, so they never had an opportunity of fighting 1v1 in any situation. So Barcelona went always with extra players in positions, and they didn't really could do anything about it. And Francisco didn't change the system, and I think after all, it was a comfortable game for Barcelona, more comfortable than we really expected at the beginning.
Sure. Trying to collect it there. Gallego unable to control. Malcolm seeking to link with Prince, but it's Rivera on the ball. Does well to keep that one in, but it's Arthur who collects. He finds Vidal. And Titi does well to get away from Gaillard. Now Coutinho. Lovely ball. Malcolm's offside. And he's angry with himself for that in the final minute of things. I mean, this really is Messi and Suarez time, isn't it? The last minute with the score at 0-0. There's the frustration of Malcolm. Santa Maria sending it long. Can Huesca create a chance? Gallego over the top. It's a chase for Cucho. Can't keep it in play though. He wants a corner and doesn't get it. And surely that is that as far as Huesca's intentions or possibilities of getting a share of the points. Can Barcelona create one chance at the end? It's cleared by Pulido. Melero knocks it on. And there is the final whistle. Applause from the home fans. Barcelona's first ever La Liga visit to El Coraf. And the final score, Sociedad Deportiva Huesca 0, Football Club Barcelona 0.
Well, I think deserve it for both teams. No team has been much better than the other. I think Barcelona were in control of basically most of the game. But Huesca tried, couldn't find a way, and I think it's a fair result. So, good for Barcelona, not good at all for Huesca. It is true that they got a point against Barcelona, but under their circumstances it's not good. And well, there's no more than keep fighting and keep trying to win the games that you said against Rayo Vallecano, against teams that are in the same situation as them, and try to get the points there.
Albert Ferrer, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure. The final score in El Coraf, Huesca 0, Football Club Barcelona 0. Ricky Pudge back on the playing surface, applauding the visiting fans. What a day it's been for him.
How was Spain?
They go crazy for football. And you know what? It's totally contagious. When you watch a match, you become one of them. Can't be football. That's got to be something else.